Okay, now we should have sound. Almost got me. All right. Tom says, howdy, fellow chiller critters. Terrence says, rise up, Chiller Night crew. Rise, rise, I say. All right, let me get this, the opening, and then we'll be official. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the Chiller Night live pre-show. That opening, actually, I see Patsy, Patsy Van. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but she made up she kind of tweaked with the intro. So I've got an intro that she had done, uh, and I'll play it here in a few minutes. But I always appreciate people's involvement with the show and stuff like that. So she says, got the night off, so I'm here today. Howdy, y'all. Well, howdy there, Patsy Van. Let's see. L. Ava Hoagie says, howdy. And speaking of L. Ava Hoagie, boy, that just sounds like an alias name for somebody. But it is Ava's birthday today, so happy birthday, baby. I know we had quite a day so far, and this is, of course, you've seen Ava on the show over the many years, the 14 years that we've done the show as Aura the Witch. So happy birthday, indeed. We've had a good day so far, very good day. So there we go, and I know a lot of you have wished Ava a happy birthday. Let's see. David says, good evening. Champagne popped and poured. Cheers. And, and about that, Ava would probably be in here, I'm guessing, but her son and his girlfriend's over here visiting, so. Let's see. Victor says, hola from EP, Texas. Well, hola, Victor. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Some salutations being exchanged. Deborah says, good evening, Chiller Thrillers. Hey, good evening, Deborah. Paul says, hey, family, how's everyone doing tonight? Doing pretty good. At least I can speak on my behalf and Ava's behalf. We're doing pretty good. Brian says, hello, all. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Brian says, this is a Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue. Now, here's Brian. What's on tonight, Brian? How was your arm, Brian? I'm doing well. I don't get my surgery until July, which is the rotary cuff and all that good stuff they got to do. I tore my shoulder up quite a bit over the last couple of years. I noticed it when I was over building the haunt. You know, the times that I was over there building the haunt when I was done. For like a couple months afterwards, I couldn't raise my arm, above my shoulder height or more. So it's really been. And then last year, I'd say about in the fall, just trying to do some, lifting and stuff, and I'd hear a popping sound. I thought, oh, that doesn't sound good. So, Pat Sylvan is how it's pronounced. Sorry. Okay, Pat Sylvan. All right. Well, Pat Sylvan. I'm going to play your intro. Now, this is something that Pat Sylvan had made up earlier in the week, so I wanted to play this here. All right, folks, it is time to begin. You know what I like about that? The one thing that stands out the most is when Ava's shaking the the Magic 8 Ball, and then there's the Batman sound effects explosion there. I got a kick out of that. So, all right. Ava says, "Thanks, sweetie. Oh, you are welcome, baby doll. My birthday girl." Everyone's saying happy birthday to Ava. I appreciate that. I know she does. Raymond says, "Raymar of the jungle." What? What did I miss here? All right, well, let's see. Well, thanks for joining us, Raymond. Let's see here. Now, I'll try to get caught up here. Let's see. Paul says, "I'll do it for free. YouTube surgery 101." Oh, thanks, Paul. Let's see. Sylvan. Or Tom says, "Or is it Sylvan?" For Patty. For Pat Sylvan. I don't know. If I'm reading that right. Sheila says, "Happy birthday. Another 365 on the Big Blue, Ava." That's right. On the Big Blue. Yep. Another trip around the sun. Roger says, "Good evening." Hey, Roger, thanks for joining us. Brad says, "That's a better intro." I'm actually making. I wanted to have it for tonight, but I didn't get to it. But I was going to put together another one for the 4th year of the pre-show. 14 years for the hosted show, but 4 years with the pre-show. John says, "It's Saturday night and time again for the Chiller Night pre-show. This is Crozak the Grand, and here's your host, Brian Hogue." Thank you, Crozak the Grand. I appreciate it. Fort Ian Time says, "Hi there, it's good to be back." Yeah, thanks for joining us there. What's on tonight, Brian? Brad says. Now that is what I wanted to get to. There will be no Chiller Night Theater tonight. I was informed earlier, when was it? Last Saturday, I think, when we were moving all that stuff. I had seen Luke down at the studio. He'd come down while we were there, because he was getting stuff out of there as well. And he said that there will be no, because of the equipment, moving of the equipment, there's not going to be any Chiller Night Theater for tonight. So I didn't make up a schedule. And possibly for next Saturday too. So I'm just throwing that out there as much as I can in advance. Still trying to do the pre-show. It's kind of a weird time right now for me because because I am working on this escape room at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, and so I'll be spending a lot of time with that. That's why I was trying to get as many shows as I could done before I would have to commit to physically working on that, which I'm doing now. And then after that, right after that, I mean, as soon as that thing is operational and we've got customers, then I will be starting in on the haunted house, because I have to get a good majority, if not all, of the structure of the haunted house built before the middle of June. Actually, before June or July 12th, I mean, because that's when I go in for my surgery. So before the 12th of July, I have to have that thing done. I mean, at least the bones of it, the structure. So that's gonna be a lot of work. So I'll just let you know in advance. I don't know how tremendously active I'm going to be able to be, but after with new shows and stuff like that. In fact, I don't even know how I would be able to do that right now, unless. Now here's an idea. I could just do one like as if it were a watch party with not much or any preparation, and we could do like a Friday Night Frights type of thing. We could do something like that. The only thing is, when would it be? When's Stream TV gonna be back up? I don't know, but here's the thing. I know that doesn't sound all that great on being a viewer and like, However, I will say this. Now, we've got a new location for the set. I got everything in there for the set. I just have to put the set up wherever I figure on I want it to be, because um, it's going to actually be part of the haunted house, and probably arranged so that we can actually have an audience in there as it's being taped and possibly streamed live. I know I'm trying to do a lot with all this, but if I can get everything to work out the way I want it, the way I see it happening, that'd be a really good thing. So it's kind of exciting, at least on my end. I'm a little tired and wore down, but with everything that I have going on, it is exciting for me, because this is I've been wanting to have something like this for a while. At least something to where I could put the haunted house up and leave it up. Leave it up all year long. I don't have to tear this thing back down. It could be in there for years. Just making it better, making improvements, modifying it here and there. But that's what I wanted, to get something like that. And, it's large enough for me to have multiple escape rooms in there, plus the Chiller Night Theater set. So, and as well as like a store, a little storefront for merchandise and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going right now. A lot of work. I Jack's, I can't have Jack jumping in here just for a while, and understand that. I was able to do that. It was actually last month, on April 1st, is when Jack Shadow did the last live Chiller Night Theater. But after that, I mean, it's going to be Brian in the chiller attire, the Chilly Billy looking tuxedo and stuff for a little bit, if we can do them. Maybe I'll try to do one on Friday night. What do you think about that? Would you like to see one for this coming Friday, whatever that date is? Terrence says yesterday was Vincent Price's 111th birthday. I did see somebody post that on Facebook. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Raymond says your shirt is something Raymar would wear. Oh, okay. That's where the Raymar of the Jungle comment was from, huh? Gotcha. I'm not familiar with Raymar, but or Ramar. Let's see. Oh, Paul says anybody see the movie Haxan or Haxan? I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The old, it's an old silent movie, right? Kind of a creepy one. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Tom says I have one on 16 millimeter. Cool. All right, so Paul says good movie. Love to see it on 16. How are you doing, Tom? Let's see. Oh, Patsy says glad you liked the intro. Oh, Pat says just playing around with my Moavi editor with it. Oh, that's cool. No, I am happy that you took the time to do that. I appreciate that. Fort Ian Times says went to Loch Ness last month. Really? Oh, that's cool. Did you see anything? And if you did, do tell. Sheila gives some crying emojis. No doubt because of the news of us not doing the shows, I take it. So, Tom says pre-show to no show. I know. I was writing that when I was writing. There will be a pre-show tonight, and I'm thinking pre-show to what? But we pick one out. Maybe we can pick one. I don't know. Why don't you pick out one? We've got the. Now I'm deflecting all my duties. No, but now listen here. We do have Chiller Night Theater episodes on the Chiller Night YouTube channel. Those of you viewers on YouTube obviously know that. I'm sure you know that. But for those of you who are watching on Facebook, because this is multi-streamed, you might not be aware of that if you haven't frequented our the Chiller Night YouTube channel. But if you go on there, there are numerous episodes there. So if you really just have a hankering for horror tonight and Jack Shadow, you know, jump on over to the Chiller Night YouTube channel and pick one up. You know, it's funny because I've said as somebody had mentioned Vincent Price here. I made mention of that recently with the 14th year anniversary, and I said, and I always say this, I've said this before, I've caught myself, I don't catch myself on time, it's only later when I think about it. I've mentioned this like several times, that the very first movie that we've played was Vincent Price's, I keep saying House on Haunted Hill. I don't know why I say House on Haunted Hill. It wasn't House on Haunted Hill, it was The Last Man on Earth, which is a very good movie. I mean, I love that movie. But the mention of Vincent Price sparked that into my memory because I kept thinking it wasn't House on Haunted Hill. It was The Last Man on Earth. Victor says no movie. No movie. No, but yeah, unfortunately, and you know, if it were up to me, but you know, of course, you know, I'm not involved in that, and it's not even based on a decision necessarily. It's just the equipment. You know, there is equipment being actually physically moved out of that facility that normally they run the shows through, and they have it hooked up through that one. Now you may go to Stream TV and see that they have that one, you know, some stuff playing. But the reason that it's hooked up, that part of it's hooked up through Oil City is because the programming is actually connected to the local TV channel as well for Chiller Night Theater. So that's why it's not showing tonight. And like I said, it might be next week as well. I'll still try to have a pre-show and I don't know. You guys want to do do you want to do a Chiller Night Theater, a live one? How about maybe June 3rd? That's next Friday. Anybody? We could do that. We could do that. I think we could do that. June 3rd. Ava, if you're watching, if we have any plans that I'm not remembering, let me know. Otherwise, let's just do one for June 3rd. Now, I will tell you this. I will not have time to prep this. I might be watching the movie at the same time you are and still trying to host it. So, well, I'm not trying. Do or do not. There is no try, Yoda says. So, I'm going to take his word for that. We're going to get through it nonetheless. John says, this week, happy birthday wishes to Vincent Price, 527 of 11, Peter Cushing, 52613, and the legendary Christopher Lee, I assume, because I saw his birthday was on there as well, on Facebook, 527 of 22. And of course, the legendary, the iconic and the legendary Ava Hogue, my beautiful bride. Her birthday is today. So lots of notable horror icons, legends. That is pretty cool. Fort Ian Time says, Patsy Van, no, but got some good footage for my podcast, which should be going out on June 9th. Oh, cool, about the Loch Ness, huh? Gold World Order says, just tuning in. How is everybody? Arians ready for a Living Dead weekend? Nat Buzzkiller talking zombie from Western Pennsylvania. I wish I could be involved in that in some way, but it's not that far from from where I'm at. So, but I hope if you're going there, you have a good time there. Gold World Order. Let us know how that is. Let's see. Brad says, I hope Stream TV fix and put Roku back on. I would love that. I hope so too. David says, Jack Shadow will always find a way. Right. Let's see. Trying to get caught up here. John says, "Oh, a live audience. Interesting." Yeah. I'm just I want to get there, put the set up, the new set, and figure out. Great, something else to figure out. But figure out how to actually do that, how to actually pull that off. Because I know how things are set up here, but how do I make that work there? Um, so I don't know yet how to do this, but I will be muddling my way through. And, we might just do a practice show once we get the setup and do a practice show. Like what we did with Nosferatu was the very first Friday Night Frights. And that was a kind of a trial run. That was just testing it all out, see if I can actually pull this off, and it worked out pretty well. There were a couple technical snags I was not sure how to navigate through, but we made it through and made an episode out of it. But yeah, that'll be kind of interesting, and then plus to have a live audience. I've always wanted the show to be live. I mean, taped and broadcasted live. And this before I knew about doing this on YouTube and streaming it. I just wanted to be at the TV station doing this. Now that we're not in the Oil City location, I can have the set still. I can still be playing the shows on Stream TV, obviously, but the set will be located elsewhere. That's the only difference. It's actually not that different than when I do the Friday Night Frights in some ways. But in other ways, it'll be quite different in front of an audience. I've done that once before. It was me and Ava and some other folks from Chiller Night Theater. Back in 2009, we had a live show it was up on a stage. We had a theater look and feel to it, with the old theater curtains and stuff, opening up. And we had a set, two sets up on the stage, and then Jack Shadow would appear, the spotlight would hit him, and he'd do his thing, and then there was a big screen in the middle, and it was just like being in a movie theater. The audience would sit there, and the movie would be on a projector, and come back to Jack Shadow, and it was interesting. It was the first time I had ever done anything like that, And at that time, the show was still fairly new. It started in 2008 doing the Host a Horror Show, and the very next year, it was in October, we decided to do the live show. So I love stuff like that. I do enjoy it. Let's see. Let me see where I'm at here. Paul says, what would happen if he has to watch Plan 9 and the Three Stooges over and over again? Who, Jack? I don't. Well, Jack likes Plan 9. He probably likes the Three Stooges, if that's who you're talking about. Ghoul World Order says, we're just preparing for our annual pilgrimage to Monroeville, Terrence. That, of course, is the Monroeville Mall, famous for being the location of the movie George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Yes. So, Kevin says a live audience is much more interactive than a dead one. I agree. Sometimes. P47 Thunderbolt says 77 says, Brian, can we get some prayers for my wife who had a stroke due to complications from surgery? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, lost my place here. She was in a coma, and I was told she was brain dead. 3 days later, she woke up and asked for me. What? Oh. Well, certainly, let's see if anybody out there wants to pray for Thunderbolt's wife. I'm saying Thunderbolt. Certainly, I'll do that. I'll do that. She was in a coma, and I was told she was brain dead, but then 3 days later she woke up and asked for me. Well, that part's fantastic. I mean, how's she doing? I don't know how long ago that was. How's she doing right now? But yes, absolutely. Let's see, Fort Ian Times says, I caught COVID last month, and on the same day I was told I was losing my job. Wow, that was quite a bad day. I'm sorry to hear that. Al says, hey, hi everyone, sorry I'm late. Well, just glad you showed up and you made it and you're joining us here, Al. Let's see. Fort Ian Time says, but recovered now and got a new job, so all good again. All right. Well, there you go. Raymond says, we love the live movies that allows us to comment. See, and that's another thing that I have to figure out, because here we've got this part figured out. You know, when we've got the virtual set, but the live set in a new location, I've got to set everything back up again, including figuring out how to do comments. So, sitting here right now, off the cuff, I don't know how that would work, but I'm going to ask people who are much smarter than me when it comes to technical stuff how they would go about it. So hopefully we can get something going here. I'm going to jump ahead to some of these because I'm noticing I'm very far behind. Terrence says, Brian, I saw a new horror movie titled Men, and boy howdy, the last 20 minutes of that movie were crazy. It's titled Men. It's my new favorite horror movie of the year, or horror film of the year, better than Hatching. 5 out of 5 stars, recommend. Okay. What was I mean, I remember looking that up. Maybe it was one that you had to rent or buy or something. I think I moved on to something else. I don't remember watching Hatching, but I remember you mentioning this. But I did look that up. I'm curious to see that. Ghoul says, Haxan is a 100-year-old Swedish movie about witchcraft. I heard it was banned in the United States for a while after its release. That's on, at least at one time, it's on YouTube, unless they took it down. But if you're interested in watching and checking it out, I believe it is on YouTube. 8:30. I looked down. I was gonna say, time to put up the schedule, but no schedule. That's weird. It's so weird. All right. Let's see. Pat Savan says, Haxan, did you know the director played the devil in that? Well, I didn't, but that's interesting information. Gold World Order says, the last man on Earth lives at the house on Haunted Hill. Yeah, I guess he kind of does. Tom says, the U.S. title is Witchcraft Through the Ages. Okay. I guess if you can't find it under the Haxan title, check for Witchcraft Throughout the Ages. I think that is on YouTube. I don't know why I wouldn't. It's 100 years old. I'm sure I've seen it on there. SBC says, the last man on Earth has seen some horrible remakes. Ghoul World Order says, you did your homework, Tom. Tom always does his homework. Yeah. Brad says, go on Chillinite YouTube to watch whatever episode you want. My favorite is, you know what? I'm in a Frankenstein mood. My favorites are Lady Frankenstein and Frankenstein 80. There you go. You know, I just had somebody comment a little bit ago, probably a couple hours ago today, about they were watching Frankenstein 80, and they said that they were from the Bronx, New York, and they said it was raining and thundering, and And I wrote back, thanks for watching. Glad you're enjoying it. It certainly is Frankenstein weather. So, um, Lady Frankenstein. There you go. Watch Lady Frankenstein tonight. Let's see. Raymond says Price was in House on Haunted Hill. Yes. Good movie. Vincent Price certainly was. But what I was doing was I was saying, because Jack Shadow's show, it debuted the first Saturday in May of 2008, and I've caught myself a couple times saying this. I don't know why. I go right to this, and I say, well, that on that night, the very first movie that we ever showed was Vincent Price in House on Haunted Hill. And that's not true. I don't know why. I'm seeing Vincent Price in my head when I say that. And it wasn't House on Haunted Hill. It was The Last Man on Earth. So if you've went and told all your family and friends, if you're just repeating me and said, well, the very first movie they've ever played was House on Haunted Hill. That's a lie. That's a lie. It wasn't. It was The Last Man on Earth. So there. Just wanted to make that clear. Correct that. Let's see. Pat Savan says Haxon means witch. All right. Terrence says, by the way, I'm aware that I'm mispronouncing that, but I might get it earlier in the feed. And I'm like, oh, okay, got it. I lose that because I'm just kind of overwhelmed trying to keep up with the chats on the pronunciation. So, sorry. That's just how I'm wired. So yeah, this is the best I've got. Terrence says, I've always had Haxon on my watch list, but I've never gotten around to watching it. And I love old black and white silent films. Sheila says, I'll do a June 3rd. All right, cool. All right. Why don't we do that? We'll set something up for June 3rd. Let's have a Friday Night Frights. Because I'm anticipating getting enough done at the store, at the Fright Shop, the new Chiller Night store. I'm anticipating getting enough between tomorrow and Monday. I think I'm going to get quite a bit done, which means I'll probably have a little wiggle room there to at least get something put together for next Friday, so we can at least have another Chiller Night Theater episode. So, gotta keep relevant, Let's see. No, it's not. Paul says no, it's not horror or sci-fi, but Maverick is kick-ass. Maverick? I missed something. Maverick. You talking about the old Western? Raymond says yes to the live show. Let's see. Tom says trying to find a good a copy with a good soundtrack, Terrence. Raymond says that will make it better. Pat Savan says I bought it on Vudu and watched it several times a year. Still love the scene of the thumb screws on the actress. Sounds pleasant. Let's see. Raymond says Ava isn't 100, is she? She was well, she was around in 1692, so at least Or of the Witches. Pat Van says the Voodoo one has a good track. Al says happy birthday to Ava. Thank you, Al. Let's see. Lasercorn says long live the witches. Yeah, they do live long. Some of them, I guess. Let's see. Paul says, anybody see Lords of Salem? Very cool. I have seen that. Yeah, the Rob Zombie movie there. I watched that probably within the last year. Let's see. Lasercorn says, speaking of witches, Witch House and dark ambient are two of my favorite music genres. Oh yeah? I'm not familiar Uh, musical genres. Okay. Let's see. Terrence says, Tom, it's available on YouTube, so I'll watch it there. I saw the Soviet Union 1985 World War II movie. Come and see. It's pretty great. It's subtitled and on YouTube. Cool. YouTube, it does have quite a bit of various movies to watch. Douglas Hazelton. Hey, Douglas, how you doing? It's been a while. Hope all is well. Douglas says, hello, now that I have my own team now, it's family run. There's myself, my wife, my daughter, my son, his cousin, and friend. It's called HPI Paranormal here in Titusville. Well, very cool, Douglas. I remember having you on Chiller Chat and we talked to you about your paranormal investigation team, so that's cool to hear about. HPI Paranormal here in Titusville, Pennsylvania. Let's see. Skipping down to try to catch up a little bit. Because when I start responding to the older comments, you've already wrote that like several minutes ago, and now we're on something new. So I'm trying to get caught up. Okay, P47 Thunderbolt 77 says, she has been awake 3 days now. She is particularly paralyzed, but somehow she knows our daughter and I. Okay. She is speaking full sentences. Paralysis seems to be improving. This all started on May 18th. Wow. Well, that's pretty significant, though. If the paralysis is improving, and she can, little movement could obviously very well develop into something more. So, and she's speaking full sentences. That's great. That's obviously a big leap from when they're telling you earlier that she was brain dead. So, wow, that part is fantastic. So, and again, he had asked for some prayers for his wife. So, if any of you do pray, I'm sure he would appreciate that for his wife. Terrence says, Brian, please look at the Red Band trailer for David Cronenberg's new movie, Crimes of the Future. Many people walked out of the Cannes premiere. Looks like my kind of movie. Really? What's the genre there? Crimes of the Future. I mean, is it a gangster movie of some type, or some type of a cartel? Is it a gory thriller? And that's people are walking out of the Cannes premiere. Okay, I can't imagine what in the world was in there. Raymond says that is good to hear, P4. Definitely. Patsavan says, I blame the mistake of movies on COVID aversion, worldwide pandemic, and Last Man. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That, you know what? We played that movie shortly after, COVID had started. Or at least I remember playing that not too long afterwards and thinking that, like, oh, this just feels so weird. Because, at that time, you didn't know what level to gauge any of this stuff on. All you knew is something was sweeping across, That's how you felt, anyways. Now, Ava supposedly had it a couple weeks ago. I supposedly had it a week ago. I think I had like one bad day, and then I bounced back pretty good. Lots of vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc. That knocked it right out of me. And again, I don't, the test was positive, but who knows? Those tests are catching colds and flus too. So who knows? But yeah, I agree with the Last Man. It's a weird feeling back then. Jason says, greeting my fellow ghouls. Looking good as always, and congrats on the move. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us. Renee says, yo, Supper Sci-Fi Community. Hey, Renee, thanks for joining us. Let's see. I'm trying to get caught up a little bit. Oh, Gold Roar says Maverick, the Top Gun sequel. Oh, all right. Now that clicks with me. I just to hear Maverick, I didn't know what that was. So, all righty. Jason says, L. Ava Hoagie's birthday today. Happy birthday. Yes, it is. Yep, my birthday girl. Brad says, maybe one day you can set back up that dark horse at Cranberry Mall one of these days. Looks like you have plenty of room for that dark horse ring. Well, here's the thing with that is the store I'm in, it's a big store, but for what I'm putting in there, that's all I'll be able to put in there. And nothing as much as a wrestling ring, and then you have the seating, then you have the commentators and stuff like that. So there's a lot of space that I would need for that. Plus, the other thing is at the mall, a lot of the stores are only have a 12-foot high ceiling. Now, when you get the ring up there, and then these guys are doing some of their flying and all that stuff, they tend to kick the tiles out of the ceiling, so it's still too low. A 12-foot ceiling is still too low for wrestling events. So other than that, let's see. P47 Thunderbolt 77 says thank you all. Definitely, absolutely. And that's fine, anybody have situations like that, come here and you want us to think or pray about their thoughts. And I know that term thoughts and prayers gets kind of overused, and maybe it's I happen to believe that it does mean something. It's kind of, sometimes I see it you know almost trivialized in some ways, but I don't think of it that way. I think that if you're I think these people, our viewers or anybody that you're mentioning to certainly would be holding your wife up in thoughts and prayers. So I think we got a good group of people here, and I think most people in general are good. And I know that's not the popular consensus a lot of times, but I do believe that. I believe that, despite what maybe media or TV and people would have you think, oh, the human race is just, they're accidents, or they're gonna destroy each other and all this stuff. I really don't believe that. I spent over 13 years as a police officer. I never walked out of that feeling jaded, to that degree. I saw, certainly when people call you, you're responding to calls. They're, you're not going there because they want to tell you how good of a day they're having. But yet, for all the bad stuff you see so much more good stuff. And so I believe that people are generally good. And I won't stop believing that. Terrence says, feeling better, Brian? Oh yeah, I'm feeling much better. Like I said, I just loaded up on vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc. Like I said, I had like one bad day, and the rest were just, felt like I had a cold. One day had me out pretty good, but other than that, Tom says, yeah, I'm sitting out of COVID now. What a way to spend a beautiful holiday weekend. You have it? Is that what you're saying? I hope you're feeling better, if that's what you're saying. Pat Savannah says, don't forget the new one, monkeypox. Oh yeah. It's just line them up, huh? Come on. I find it very, and I'll probably get taken down, but I find it very suspicious, okay, that this was being mentioned just a short time ago, and now, Oh, here it is. Here it is, folks. Out of nowhere. You know, when's the last time this was a problem? And then Bill Gates is talking about it, and all of a sudden, whoa! It just happened to pop up. Jeez, come on. Wow. SBC says, first a pandemic, now a war. The last few years have been tough. They have. They have. But you know what? If the burden gets too heavy, you know, from all that sludge, that mental and spiritual sludge that you find yourself immersed in just watching the news and stuff like this, you know, give yourself permission to take some time off. For no one should be carrying that kind of burden around, that psychological and mental burden, you know, and all that garbage. Take some time off, you know. Kick the news to the curb for a week. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna know what's going on generally, enough to get through the week. Take some time off. Recoup a little bit. Watch this stuff. Or stuff like this. Where you can chat with each other. And I mentioned this. I think it was not last week, but maybe the week before, when COVID first started, and we were doing the Friday Night Frights every Friday night in March. I didn't for one second think it was because people wanted to see Jack Shadow. I didn't think it was necessarily that. I wasn't thinking that way. I thought it was just, I think the community, the chiller, folks need to get together and just reach out and communicate with each other like we're doing right now. That's what I was thinking, but we're still going to have a show. That was my mindset there. The show must go on for that reason, because I thought it was important for everybody to just at least take that little slice of the week, that little bit of time, and get to talking and chatting with each other, reaching out to each other. Yeah, it was through a show, but I think that it was good for me. I think it was good for you as well, who was around at that time when we were doing that. 10 minutes, that's not bad. Let's see. Gold World Order says it sounds like the Fast and Furious on your end. I hear some car engines outside. Yeah, we got some zombies that are drag racing over there. I'll tell you, they just every once in a while they get a little crazy and ramped up. Let's see. Paul says, got to see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Call you tomorrow, brother. Okay, Paul. Raymond says a person can get monkeypox by touching clothes and bedding material. Yeah, I suppose so. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know much about it, other than I just find it too improbable that this just what? Why? That's what a coincidence. Bill Gates was just talking about that. How did this happen? Yeah. Let's see. Lasercorn says, Crimes of the Future, I'll check it out. But if you can sit through forced gender reassignment, what? And not cringe, squirm, or run away, then that's the whole new level of insanity. Forced gender reassignment. Now that sounds like a current headline in any news article in any given day anymore. Let's see. Pennsylvania says, cars, I'd trade. I have fireworks going off here. Oh, is that right? That sounds festive. Lasercorn says, forced gender reassignment by Cannibal Corpse. That video is not for the faint of heart. Ah, jeez. They got some crazy stuff out there. By the sounds of it, I've not seen that. Give me my Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman. I'm happy with that. Terrence says, there's a movie called Forced Gender Reassignment. What a crazy world. I agree. I know. Raymond says, does monkeypox leave serious scars? couldn't tell you. I don't know if anybody else knows about monkeypox. Or is this one of those words I'm not allowed to say on YouTube now? Who knows? Let's see. Let me get caught up a little bit. I know I'm far behind here. Okay, Terrence says, Brian, the genre is body horror. Make sure it's the 2022 Crimes of the Future. Body horror. Body horror. Okay. Huh. John says, blame the flying monkeys for the monkeypox because that's what you get. Oh, those flying monkeys. Ah. Jeez. Pat Savan says, I have been following it since I work at a Walmart. I don't want it, nor to spread it. I still wear my mask at work. Oh, is that right? I'm seeing some of your concerns about various monkeypox and COVID. Let's see. Gold World Order says, if you carry all that heavy stuff from the news, you'll go crazy. Take advantage of the escapism. You need it. I agree. I agree. And that's certainly not implying to, stick your head in the sand, But I am saying, just on a mental health note, it is nice to just take a little mental vacation. When I did leave work every day from when I was a police officer, sometimes when I left, I never took anything home with me. I don't know how that worked with everybody else, but to me, I don't know if that was a good thing or bad thing. I think it was a good thing. It seemed to be. I always had a happy home life, and I don't know. Maybe there's an inability from some people to be able to do that. But I was always able. I was one of the, I was pretty lucky to be able to do that. And I can do that now with everything else going on as well. It doesn't mean it's not there, or I won't catch up on it maybe in a day or two. Deal with it. But it is what it is. Do whatever helps you get through it. Brad says, sounds like outside of your studio is really getting out of hand. Is it? I suppose I'm so used to the ambient sounds of the dark domain around me that I don't even pay attention to them anymore. But hey, on a good note, the the new Chiller Night Theater set, you definitely won't be hearing anything like that going on. So there's a plus. SBC says, as far as I know, the normal smallpox vaccination that we all use to get protects us against monkeypox. Raymond says 7 states have monkeypox infections, including my state, Virginia. Raymond says I will avoid their movies. When but with the gender reassignment movies, is that what we're talking about? That's what it kind of sounds like. Let's see. Pat Savan says 5 minutes to go. Let's all wish Ava a happy birthday. Wow, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. And everyone's doing it. Bonehead, happy birthday, Miss Ava, and many more. Pat Savan says, happy birthday, Ava. Tom says, well, getting close to the end of the show. I'm going to throw my goodbyes in now, everyone. See you next week. Happy birthday, Ava. Thank you, everybody. Al says, good night, everyone. Raymond says, Patsy, maybe the first report I heard about was wrong about the sex of the patient. That's very possible. Raymond, Brad says 5 minutes till Chiller Night. Well, not tonight though, unfortunately. But like I said, if you have that hankering for horror and you want some Jack Shadow tonight, just jump on over to the Chiller Night YouTube channel, and there are movies on there, episodes, complete episodes, numerous of them, you know, to choose from. So, Gold Roll Order says, happy birthday, Ava. John says, this has been the Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand, reminding you to enjoy your weekend. Remember what this weekend is for and why. Until next Saturday night, stay chilled and keep thrilled. Yes, of course, Memorial Day. Of course, we recognize here on Monday, Memorial Day. So I hope all of you have a safe and happy Memorial Day. Be spending with your loved ones. You get some family getting together. And it is 8:58. One thing I want to mention, and I'm going to mention this real quick, is Obi-Wan Kenobi started yesterday. First 2 episodes. Very cool. Very cool. Another thing I'm going to throw in here real quick. We got a minute. In fact, we don't have to rush to 9 o'clock because there's no 9 o'clock show tonight. So I will take a minute to look at it. Check this out. A Godzilla museum just opened in Japan. Very soon they will open phase 2 that includes a zip line that lets you fly into Godzilla's mouth. So this is now the greatest thing in the world. Check this out. Can you see this? This is crazy. Let me make this a little bigger though. And this is a thing. I looked this up. I looked this up on the internet, and can you imagine that? This is real. I thought it was like a Photoshop thing, but they actually have this freaking thing. So I just think that's the coolest thing. But anyways, everyone's saying good night, and I will do so as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you want to watch a Chiller Night Theater episode, go to our Chiller Night YouTube channel for tonight and pick out one of your favorites. And hopefully within a couple weeks we'll be back up and running on Stream TV. So have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night. And let's do a Friday Night Frights this coming Friday, June 3rd. All right. We'll see you then.